What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to continue our playthrough of the Arknights rerun event, So Long Adele, Home Away from Home. Now, we got into it, and we got a couple of stages done last time, and we kind of figured out our plan for how many we're going to be doing each time. But at the same time, we got kind of a not so much a slow start, but a branching start where we got to see everybody that was involved throughout the first two stages. So the initial story and the first two stages really gave us an insight on all the different characters and people that this story focuses on. So between Eyjafjalla and her story and dealing with Dr. Keller and Dr. Khan and the stuff with her parents, Swire and Snowsent and competing with Bison on redevelopment plans in Siesta, the people of Siesta and the potential move, Enos or Bryophyta and his mom, his brother and sister, the family there and their little restaurant or bar, I should say, and how they're dealing with things and potential move, how it's going to affect them. And then you also get people like Pelipper and his deal with Obsidian, which we only got a brief thing with him there, but he does appear later in the story here. We're going to get a bit more with him and find out some more information that's going on there. We have Salon, who's going to pop up here. We saw her briefly when it came to Enos running into Eyjafjalla, and he paid the medical bills and whatnot. So we got to see her. She's going to have a little bit more involvement in the story. Her father is the mayor, Herman Doikos. He is going to have a little bit more involvement. So we've got branching everywhere. And it's very good because the way this story develops, it's taking us through different parts of the story here and there at a pretty good pace. And we're going to jump right back in and continue where we left off. So I'm anxious to see where things go. And then, of course, too, we can't forget to mention Dolly and the little sheep. Eyjafjalla seems to be the only one that can see them directly right now. But that's going to change here a little bit, in a way. We've got some characters that are noticing some little things, like the little girl, Enos's little sister, had seen the floating ice cream cone, and some people are noticing little things happening, and it's going to pick up more and more. And I believe later on in the story, some of the characters actually start to see them, and it's kind of a matter of they can only see them because they're being let to see them. But we'll get there in all due time. For now, let's jump in, let's pick up where we left off last time, and continue. I got chapped lips and I got a can of Coke Zero here with me. Let's see if we can keep myself going here in doing my voices. But we got to jam out for a couple seconds to the song first, because it's one of the best lobby themes in Arknights history. Sorry, and it's the nighttime version. I like both. I like day and night, but I like the nighttime version better. It just kind of makes me want to dance. And I have no moves. I suck at dancing, so this boy ain't gonna dance for you guys. Don't worry. I'm not gonna jump off my seat and start twerking like Tim the Tap Man or something here for you. So, all right, let's go. SL-3. Finger family. Memories, man. Memories. You know why? There's a connection to that. Finger Family, if you guys don't know, that's like a kid's song, nursery rhyme, and all these have had those kind of things so far. Do Your Ears Hang Low, Little Boy Blue, Finger Family. Daddy figure, where are you? So the only reason I know that is because my kids used to watch a video on repeat with that freaking song in the background. So anyways, on to SL-3. Let's continue. So, this is the Rhodes Island Siesta branch office. How did you know? I happen to have a few friends at Rhodes Island. You're a tour guide, aren't you? Don't tell me you're giving tours of a pharmaceutical company now. I was driving a guest.
Save me the excuses. It's dangerous for an oropathy patient to hide his identity, regardless of reason. It's against the law, even in Siesta.
Yes, I know. But what am I supposed to...
Then you work so many jobs and swindled me because of oropathy.
And family. What happens to me doesn't matter, but I worry about what happens to them when I'm gone. I just need time until the shop moves and we have a new future. Don't look at me like that. I'm not asking for your sympathy.
No, I just remembered how much you charged me the other day compared to the average taxi price here.
Well, you lied about being a normal tourist.
Oh, you've got a sharper tongue than one would think.
What do you want?
Let's make a deal. You saw that chap from Mountain Dash Logistics the other day in the bar? He's my competitor. We're competing for the rebuilding rights in the commercial district, but he has home ground advantage. I need some local help to even the odds. You work for me, and I never saw you today. How's that?
You're trying to blackmail.
Now, there's no need for such language. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, and don't worry, you'll be paid.
I don't need a handout.
And I'm not giving any handouts. All I want is a fair deal.
What's your deal?
I run a clean business here. We don't do forced relocations and the like. If everybody wins, so much the better. Now, there's always going to be controversy when it comes to rebuilding, but I promise that I'll do better than Mountain Dash Logistics. We've already worked together once, after all. May I count on your vote?
I just want my family's bar to be relocated smoothly.
Deal, then. Oh, and one little word of advice. No matter what you have to deal with, oropathy treatment is not something that can be delayed. You should make up your mind soon.
Aren't you concerned about dealing with an infected?
I have a friend who's infected too.
She's referring to Chen. And of course there's others that she knows, but she's referring to Chen, which is pretty cool. But it is almost closing time at the museum. There are no tourists, but the audio tours continue to play on loop. The massive mountain boulder remains silent in the empty gallery. The Nowmans left behind thousands of photos and samples. The rebuilding of the villages around Mount Una. They visited more than 100 volcanoes across numerous countries. There the kids are.
Did you really see it? Yes, I saw the ice cream cone come in here.
You just wanted to come to the museum.
I knew we wouldn't be able to find it. He was lying to us. He didn't go to all those places.
How did you get in? Admission is closed.
Sorry, we'll be going. Have you seen my dad?
Your dad?
We're looking for an adventurer. He went a lot of places in the photos he sent us. There were volcanoes, snow mountains, hills, and nomadic cities. His photo might be in the volcano museum.
What's your father's name?
Chuck.
I've never heard of a volcanologist by that name. Maybe you should ask elsewhere.
I may know your dad.
What are you doing here, Adele? You look awful.
You've seen him? You said your dad was an adventurer. Where has he been? I don't know. He always sends back photos when he visits a place. I think the last one was from Sargon. Sargon, I knew it. My parents were volcanic researchers. They told me a story about when they were there surveying at Sargon. They quickly lost their way in thick branches and leaves of the rainforest, and it felt like they were wandering around the stomach of a great beast. Just as they thought they would never get out, they saw a man with leaves all over him. Are you lost? Do you need any help? He pointed the way for them and took them out of the rainforest. They even saw a sight of sunny rain. My parents were really thankful. Thank you so much for helping us out there. What is your name, sir? The man brushed off the leaves, took a photo of the rainforest, and said, "No need to thank me. The name's Chuck. I'm taking this photo to send to my kids." And that's how the photo made it to you. Really? Sounds made up. Of course it's true. I think I have a photo here somewhere.
Adele digs through the papers and takes out a photo of the Naumans smiling at the camera with a few blurred figures behind them.
Look, here's your dad. I'm still not sure that's actually my dad. I can't see him clearly, but I hope he's my dad. That means he helped out other adventurers find their way and send us a photo. What a cool dad.
I didn't know you were a storyteller.
Just repeating something I heard from my mom when I was little, with a few adjustments here and there.
There's no reason for a professional volcanic survey team to accept help from an amateur. The story sounds entirely unscientific.
Science exists to bring hope to people, doesn't it?
Well, we can't have them running around the museum like this. If their parent or guardian isn't here, I'll take them home. You look tired, Adele. You should get some rest too. Come, kids. I'll take you home.
Con, I think I should do it.
But you...
It's fine. Let me do it. They look lonely. I'll keep them company.
Enos!
Enos!
Where did you go?
I found out where Dad went. Make sure you tell your family the next time you go out.
It's you.
Huh? You're...
I'm the one who ran into you today and knocked you out. I'm Enos. I'm their brother. Are you okay? Any dizziness? Dr. Salon said... she said... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run off, but I had to go to work. I'll pay your medical expenses.
Dr. Salon told me everything. It's not your fault. Your little brother and sister must be hungry. You should go home.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Call me Adele.
I'll remember. Little ones, don't you have something to say to Adele?
Thank you, Adele.
The mischievous boy reaches around the little girl's neck and pats her opposite shoulder.
Huh? Who's there?
The girl looks hesitantly at the troublemaker next to her, who pretends nothing has happened, but could not hold back his laughter. They chase each other into the shop, into the open arms of their mother, then run back out like frolicking beastling, while their mother tends to dinner being cooked on the stovetop. Adele breaks out in a smile.
That's so nice to see. Mr. Enos, do you know one Mr. Pelipper? The Volcano Museum needs obsidian for its research. I heard you may be able to acquire some.
Damn, he just can't keep his mouth shut, can he?
Could I buy some from you?
You helped me so much. I should repay the favor. I dug these up around the volcano 3 months ago. They don't look great, but maybe they'll be useful for your research.
Thank you very much. However, I must ask you to stay away from the volcano. If you know anyone else who is mining obsidian, please also tell them to stop doing so. Mount Siesta has entered its active period. Even if it hasn't erupted yet, orogenium activity in the area continues to increase. There's a risk of oropathy infection without professional protective equipment.
Well, There's laughter coming in from outside as the two children chase each other on the streets as their shadows stretch in the setting sun. Enos gazes at his siblings as they go further and further away and subconsciously touches the spot on his chest where he was scratched by orogenium. All right, I promise I won't go anymore. And thank you for playing with my siblings. That should have been my responsibility as big brother.
It's okay. They're very cute. I had a good time, too. By the way, your siblings said that your father has not been home for a long time.
He's adventurer, traveler, explorer. It's not like he's gone off the grid or anything. He sends postcards and money back on a regular basis. You could be present without actually being there, however. By the time we get a letter from him, he's already off to the next place. All we know is that there's someone out there going from one corner of the land to the other. Sometimes I want to see for myself where he's been. Harley raised us here while running the shop, but she says that life is a journey and everyone chooses the sights they want to see.
If you don't mind me asking, why are the three of you all different races?
Well, we're not blood related. All three of us were adopted.
Oh.
No need to look at me like that. It's not exactly taboo. People come and go every year, some seeking a new life, some seeking romance. Many leave in disappointment when they find that life here isn't all it's cracked up to be, leaving children like us behind.
I can tell your siblings love you.
It must seem strange to outsiders, but for me, family is family. Ties of blood aren't that important. I don't know what my birth parents looked like. Maybe they abandoned me, or maybe they loved me and got into an accident. My parents didn't hide anything from me. The little ones will be told the truth once they're a little older. Adele looks at Harley working in the shop, and Enos's siblings, who are already shadows in the distance. Everything is warm and peaceful, like a dream. The obsidian feels heavy. She turns sideways and wipes away a teardrop from the corner of her eye.
And how long were you planning to hide it from me, Enos? Mom?
All right, I admit, I've thought about remaking this place into a hot springs resort. I promise I won't try to do it behind your back. I won't do anything without your permission.
Once you've gotten everything in order, once arrangements for our future have been made the way you wanted, then you'll leave your mother and siblings behind the way you clear a drunkard out of the bar and find a place to wait for Oripathy to take you. Is that the journey you've chosen for yourself? You knew. I was waiting for you to tell me. Mr. Enos, you're already...
Oh, blame me and my fat fingers. I got scratched by Originium when I was digging for obsidian at the volcano. I thought I was good at climbing. Yeah, I learned my lesson.
No, the only thing you learned is to hide things from me, and you're not half as good as you think you are at it. You've got that look on your face that says, I'm gonna finish everything, go far away, and tell my blissfully ignorant mother everything in a farewell letter after I die. You think it's cool. No, you've got that look on your face that says, I can't even say that's not what's going on.
I didn't think it was cool. It just felt like I just felt like it's what I have to do as a big brother, as a part of this family. After all, we're not...
Even if you didn't do anything, you'll still be their brother, and my son.
There is no bargaining in love. If you insist on bargaining with me about this, young man, let me tell you that you'll be working off your debt for a long time.
Oh, sorry. I thought some background music was in order for a scene like this. Name's Bird, traveling troubadour.
Our resident singer now. You can afford a resident singer?
No, but this one only wants to be paid a story. Your Kashmir story was wonderful. It helped a great deal in understanding the folk tunes of those parts.
Can I borrow your guitar? Let me play a song. The evening mist covers the town. The rising new moon makes it look like a new place. My favorite place exists only in my sweet memories. I have nothing but my sweet memories. I like that tune. It kind of gets me emotional for some reason.
So you came here. How far can you see from here?
It's all dark. Just empty seas.
Not being able to see means you can imagine. There's actually an island on the far side of the sea, and everyone who leaves Siesta lives on the island. I'm a little scared. When we grow up, will our parents and Enos leave us?
He won't. Enos says we're an adventure team. A team doesn't leave each other. We'll go back to old Siesta and many other places.
You can't tell there's something on Enos's mind?
What? How do you have something on a mind?
You're an idiot.
The girl stands up, gazes at the direction of the volcano, and yells with all her strength.
Hey, old Siesta! I miss you! Will you stop being angry?
What a sweetheart. Those kids.
It's a loss for the Obsidian Festival that your performance was not part of it.
There's nothing to be lost. Siesta has heard my music many times. I don't need to compete for attention with young people at a music festival.
You're a Siestan with rock and roll spirit.
In my case, I added the Siestan identity to a rock and roll spirit. Chuck and I met on our travels in Siesta. We have heard about the wondrous sight of the white volcano, how the entire volcano turns white like a marshmallow under certain weather conditions. We spent a year in Siesta without seeing a sight of it, but we fell in love with the city and settled down here, opening our little shop. If we couldn't find the white volcano, we could make one ourselves. So that's how the shop got its name. I thought you two just came up with it on the fly.
Dr. Keller has talked about the legend of the white volcano before, but does it really exist? Might be snow if it's just the top of the mountain, but when you're talking about the whole mountain, I don't know of any phenomenon like that. Whether it actually exists or not is not important. The scene of legends has taken root in new soil, even creating a new legend of its own. What a beautiful story. This reminds me of an old song that was written in Siesta. May I?
It's a long, long journey. I ride on a ship with a broken mast. My home is 100 miles behind me. How charming is the summer sun. The north wind blows 100 miles, visiting the first volcano. We'll meet again along the forgotten trail. Oh, I remember now. This is it. The north wind blows 100 miles, visiting the first volcano.
That's the north wind you're looking for?
Having a tune play itself over and over in your head but not being able to remember the lyrics is the 7th most painful thing in the world. I'm feeling much better now. Thanks.
Adele?
Adele, who are you talking to?
Myself. I'm just thinking about the north wind and the lyrics. But Siesta is north of the ocean. It should be the south wind in the summer. I'm reminded of a story about the songwriter. I think it was back in 1060. His album, Lost, tells the story of how he got lost in the hills on a camping trip and had to be rescued. The album was a smash hit and cemented how the singer couldn't find the north. Maybe he got his directions mixed up. Is that all there is to it? The events of the past can often feel like a joke. We're just seeing a snapshot preserved in time, but the actual truth is elusive. That's why the present is so precious, isn't it?
Ain't that right?
What are you doing, Enos?
Putting the sign up.
Ha! You stubborn boy.
A hand, Mom? Enos stands on the ladder, lifting up the shop sign. He takes the hammer and nail from his mother and goes to work pinning it above the door. The power switch is pulled, and neon-illuminated words begin to glow against the sun's last light.
White volcano.
The original messenger for this batch called in sick. The letter was already like that when I got it. This was the only place I could think of when I saw volcano on the envelope. I know as much as you do. If there's no information about the sender on that letter, there's no information.
How have you been? I'm doing fine here. It's been a long time. I miss you. The volcano is a spectacular sight. The winds are strong at the peak. Love, your father. Mr. Enos, might this photo be from your father?
My father? This is Mount Una. He really did go there. Mom, Dad sent a photo. Want to see? Write back to him and tell him that he loses his bet if he sends another postcard photo and not one that he actually took himself. After all, I raised my son to be cool, while all he does is steal other people's photos.
Real adventurers don't do that.
But if we remember right, it seemed like that was potentially delayed, meaning there's an implication there, possible implication. Anyways,
I'll bring these obsidian samples back. We should have a more accurate estimate of the eruption time. Glad to be of help. Adele, do you know why Keller called you to Siesta? Some of the exhibits in the Volcano Museum were connected to my parents' research. Dr. Keller asked me to help organize things. I'm not sure I understand your concerns. In their last days, my parents were studying the relationship between orogenium veins and volcanic activity. There are many other people doing the same. Why would there be danger? I wasn't sure it was my place to tell you what Dr. Naumann tried to hide from you. But hide this any longer, and you may never have the chance to learn the truth. In the year before Dr. Naumann died, her lab was frequently contacted by the personal army of a Litanian Kurfürst. Army? The Naumanns were experts in orogenium and ecology. Their research converged on the prediction and prevention of catastrophes. But someone may have seen another possibility in their research. Weaponization. I was studying abroad at the time, so what I knew was limited to rumors and my classmates' messages. There was only one person who had access to their research. Keller.
here we go. Finger family. I don't think this is a hard stage, if I remember correctly. Okay, yes, so.
I don't think I'll even remember your faces after this one. Anyway, let's just get started. Please, trust in me.
Okay, so we got her set up, which is good. We need Texas here. Take care of him, please. Thank you.
Moving to designated
her.
location.
We're gonna put him out and Doggo Puss right here.
Where do you wish to go? I am Dublin. Dublin, you ran into me.
Ready to move. Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Okay, we're good. All right, we all right.
Wow.
Put her there.
Looks awfully dangerous. You call me out for this?
Thus I speak.
Put her there. Boom. You toasted.
But have you forgotten to look above?
That's just way too OP. Anyways, I think we're in good enough shape. We should be alright.
Sow the mountains when summer leaves the white dew. Seed the plains when equinox.
We're 11 of 34.
Ready to move. This hunt has dragged on
Him
for
taken
too long.
care of. We haven't needed to use any of the bottles yet. Meanwhile, she's over there just destroying everybody.
Waiting for your morning star.
We'll set him up.
The illumination of wisdom.
Where do you wish to I am Dublin?
Okay, we crossed the halfway point now. Okay.
I wasn't supposed to sow the mountains when summer leaves the white dew. Seed the plains when equinox turns russet hue.
Okay, and we'll activate her.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Boom! Boom! Oh man, this is too much. Way too OP. Ugh. One to go. And boom. Let's go.
Found it? Found it, found it! Found it when the foul beast was singing. How's the weather today? All good until the bad happened. time is of the essence. Our party is about to begin. Why did you only arrive just now?
Me?
Say no more. I could tell at a glance that you're different from the other mediocre people. I suggest you join our grand plan.
Grand plan? What are you going to do? Where am I? And why am I wearing Moti's clothes?
We will find what we like most, carry it on our backs, and never take it off again. It is so very so heavy that I won't be able to straighten my back, but it is very important. Why do you have nothing on your back? No, she does have it on her back. Good evening, child. Did you hear the bell?
Bell? No, but that might be because I can't hear very well most of the time.
Then you should also come and join our party.
Where is it?
When the bell rings at the end of the world. But before that, I have something to show you. It looks like my memory is correct. These stones, specimens, and red-colored photos. These are what you've been brought here to see.
The gentle creature walks forward with light footsteps.
Look, these rocks have been alive for thousands, tens of thousands of years. They were buried here, deep beneath the ground, long before even we were here. They're so beautiful, so passionate. Though they were deep underground, hundreds of miles apart, they eventually came together and brought forth a marvelous eruption. You love them, don't you?
Volcanoes. I do.
Volcanoes are rocks. They're all very precious treasures. But my dear Adele, what if someone used them to do bad things? What would you do?
Bad things? Like what?
A pretty nice party it was. A pretty nice party it'll be.
Just the look on his face.
The north wind we found. But where are the seeds in the ground? The ground! Oh, the party's about to begin. Adele, would you like to bring a rock to the party? Then let us make haste. What's wrong? What's on your mind?
I'm sorry to say this, but Little Black Sheep, are you Mr. Dolly?
I am Dolly, but I am also not Dolly. Who I am depends on what I am in your mind.
There are some differences between you and Mr. Dolly. Are all of those little black sheep?
Oh no, we cannot say all. Each and every one is unique, as is their connection to the world. Just as we refer to you, we would not call all of them Adele. Every Adele is unique.
Okay, so why did you invite me here?
Because of the north wind. Because we wish to share the joys of harvest. Every participant in this party has been chosen, including you, my dear Adele.
The things I've experienced the last few days here have truly been mind-boggling.
That too is a part of life. Are you happy right now, little one?
I don't know.
Let me take a look. I believe you are not very happy right now. Look over there. She is the proof.
The little black sheep looked down from atop the chest. A tiny, fragile creature tries to jump up once, twice, try as it might, it cannot jump onto the chest.
Is it alone?
She looks very weak right now, too weak to jump.
Can we help her out?
Not right now. Only when the volcano erupts will she become herself.
Is she also one of your kind?
Yes, eventually, everyone will become one of us.
A little bit of a hint there. I apologize if I seem a little bit distracted right now. I do have as I'm recording this, I have the premiere of the first episode on YouTube at the moment, and I was just checking my live chat. So that episode is premiering, and this one should be following suit. Anyways.
Morning, Adele. Would you like some breakfast? Why do you look so tired? Want me to make you a cup of coffee? Good morning. I seem to have had a really long and strange dream last night, and I'm still a bit out of it. You know what they say around here? The emotions that overflow too much during the day are left over for you to savor in your dreams at night.
Excuse me.
What was that dream about again? I seem to remember something about it being very noisy and lively. It's true, I really saw it all. Yes, I believe you. And because of that, you're not allowed to have ice cream for 2 months for sneaking out of your room at midnight and sneaking over to the land by the sea. Aww, but I saw a little lamb run into my room last night, and it took me to a place where there were a whole bunch of other lambs.
Excuse me.
There were a whole bunch of lambs as fluffy as marshmallows, singing and dancing on top of a chest. If what you say is true, a flock of sheep invited you to join their midnight party. Yeah, I think that makes sense because I've been a good girl.
So she's surprised because the little girl saw them. A complete mess. Up until yesterday, specialty products from various countries shipped by Mountain Dash Logistics had all been stockpiled here. If nothing unexpected happened, they would have appeared at the trade fair in a few days to show the tourist city what the outside world looked like. But now, there are overturned shelves everywhere the eye can see, goods strewn haphazardly across the ground, dusty footprints stamped atop some of them.
How did this happen?
Good. I had no idea you were so clever and learned. I was going to ask you help me make my apahang, but with such a good head on your shoulders, I'm feeling a little bad now.
All right, SL-4. This is... it's going so smoothly so far, and I love it. Arcosauria, A. I'm telling you, everything's weird about that Ann Meyer no-tail. She eats food and gets eggshell in her mouth. She takes her turn crossing a bridge, and the rope somehow snaps. She builds a house, and a waterfall floods it. She goes fishing and gets caught by a big fin. Oh, I remember. Enam said something about being, what was it? Born under an unhunky star?
Born under an unlucky star. Don't forget to give Ann Meyer your thanks, you two. With the way you practically party on the job, who knows how long building these houses would have taken without her.
Boom! I'm trying to make those, because those like archosaurs, however you pronounce that, are kind of like... I don't know how to describe it. They have like a struggling when it comes to speaking the language and saying those things. So it's pretty interesting how to try and get that voice across. I don't want to sound like too cavemanish, and I don't want to sound like I'm doing some sort of awkward impersonation of any kind of like a specific like... I don't know how to say it, because I don't really know what I'm going for other than that like dumb kind of struggling to get the language across, like it's not your first language type of thing. I don't it's weird, but I just get this like kind of dumb cavemanish speak for them. Like that's what comes across for me, but it is what it is. All right, Ann Meyer.
That actually made me cough. What's going on? How did the door explode? It's fine. I can fix it up ASAP. I was blow drying the glue on the hinges, and I probably futzed the hairdryer.
Glue? That's my wine pot. Old Noche gave it to me.
Ahem. You moved everything over, right?
Everything's here now. We spent all morning shifting it. I'm gonna take myself a good long bath tonight.
Oh, morning. This is freight of some kind. Coffee? Yes, it's Siestan coffee. We've opened up a trade route with the Siestan merchants, and these are the first goods they sent. Let me take a look. I think I can see the instructions on these bags. Roast the flower seeds and coffee beans together. Siestans adjust the bitterness of their coffee that way. My grandpa made coffee like that too, when I was young. I believe he was a Siestan, Miss Anmeyer. Yeah, but we moved to Columbia so long ago. Once I finish work this month, I'll have enough saved to catch a ride back to Siesta. Huh? I would have let Siestan merchants take you back if I knew. They left just over an hour ago. What?
Observation Diary. Mount Una, Northern Litanian, September 3rd, 1095. Goal of the observation: obtain first-hand survey data for the eruption of Mount Una. Calculate numerical originium particulate concentration gradient decrease in surrounding environment at the time of eruption. Established a theoretical model. Estimated observation time: 5 hours. Observation team: Katya, Magna, Keller. In an old notebook is sandwiched a photograph. 3 people lined up in mountaineering gear. 3 smiling faces reddened by the alpine wind. Professor Keller...
Professor Keller was there in the lineup too.
She was meant to be a member by all rights on that investigation. But the day before they ascended, Keller suddenly left the team and went back to William University.
She withdrew just like that? Was there some reason for it?
It's a mystery, and the observation diaries don't make a single mention of it. All we know is right after that accident, Keller showed up at a meeting between William University and the Litanian government.
Mr. Dolly, were you there then?
No answer.
You still won't pay attention to me until I find what you're looking for. You know, Mr. Dolly, have you heard of volcano watchers? They're a kind of flower that changes color based on a volcano's activity. Is it the seeds of those flowers you're looking for? Or obsidian, maybe? With how they're buried in the soil, the black crystals look a lot like seeds too, don't they?
Still no response. Adele mumbles to herself, garnering no response, and the tremendous volcanic rock specimen before her is taciturn as ever.
Am I just overthinking this? Mr. Dolly, I'll only be able to find what you're looking for that quickly if you give me more of a hint. Adele, are you searching for something? No, Professor Keller.
Keller watches Adele close the notebook and put it away in the storage box. Adele hangs her head, picks up the other files around her, and buries her parents' notes beneath them.
Adele, if anything is gnawing at you, you can come straight to me.
Adele is silent for a spell.
Nothing I can think of, Professor Keller.
I'm here to catch you up on some matters. According to data sent back from the forward sensor station and analysis of the obsidian sample, we've concluded that Mount Siesta's eruption may well come a few days soon. Readings from the mountain have always been unusual. Active energy from its internal originium veins peaked 2 years prior in the summer, then rapidly fell after, before once more slowly rising. We don't have much time left to prepare. We'll need to act fast. Oh! The volcano's erupting sooner! How lucky can we be?
Mr. Dolly, please don't jump out of nowhere.
Adele, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Adele,
I know with the ample experience you already boast as a scholar, pre-observation prep work amounts to little more than busy work for you. But please maintain your focus, okay? I'm sorry, Professor Keller.
Oh, so your professor caught you playing hooky.
Oh, yes. Have you bumped into any peculiar tourists at the museum lately? Did something happen? A whistling rock specimen in the hands-on area went missing. A whistling rock? One that sounded musical when blown through? It looks like we'll want to report to City Hall's people to increase security at the museum too. I'll keep a lookout myself. Maybe it's something about the weather. There's been a lot of strange things happening lately, and authorities say cases of people losing their own possessions have been unusually high. I was listening to the news this morning, and someone apparently took out their grudge on that depot at the unfinished plate, too. They made a complete mess of it over there.
She thought it was in a dream. The surprise. Manager, we've run up the damaged goods. Nothing really unaccounted for. It's mainly notable damage to the outer box packaging. Aside from some foodstuffs, we haven't lost too much at all.
Good. Noted.
I'm sorry to have this sort of thing happen in Siesta. It was caused by carelessness of our own work. I can only ask this won't impact your thoughts on collaborating with us. Of course, if you do decide to suspend partnership, I'll report the full reality to Mayor Herman. Though in that event, I imagine it'll be tough on him to lose a business partner, and tough on me to lose my job.
Assigning blame is secondary. I first need to ensure nothing like this will happen again. It looks like people really aren't welcoming Mountain Dash's plans for the new plate. I'm glad that I can still be wholly face-to-face with you to coordinate business. Excuse me? Given that having the residents here accept redevelopment isn't meant to be part of your work at all. Mountain Dash Logistics' future collaborations with Siesta can't stand independent of their support. I don't want the people to deem the redevelopment of a form of unilateral imposition.
A form of unilateral imposition. I'm adding like random little words on accident there. Anyways. That you're concerned at all is really gratifying.
Things being what they are, I'd appreciate City Hall keeping an eye on security work around the warehouse. Fingers crossed no accidents like this will be happening again.
All right, I'll pass on your comments, and I'll make sure they lead to some action. For my job, my rent, and my worried fiancé's sakes, I thank you, Mr. Bison. If you have no other arrangements here, I'll be continuing my efforts to talk the commercial district into signing the relocation LOI. What does LOI mean, actually? Out of curiosity. We'll Google that real quick. What does LOI mean? Letter of intent. Letter of intent. Okay. Anyways. Miss Swire, I'm deeply sorry I couldn't show you the proper hospitality when you paid a visit earlier. How was your impression of New Siesta been over your tour these past few days?
Very clean, very eye candy, but missing a little sense of amusement, possibly even stiff. To be honest, I more prefer how it used to be.
Very coincidentally, my daughter said much the same thing. But Siesta's been forced to leave its golden shoreline, which means it's only a matter of time before tourism fails as our economic backbone.
Oh, pity. I was quite fond of that old Siesta fashion street and all. You're very much confident about partnering with Mountain Dash Logistics, I take it.
I have just as much hope in the differing solution you provide, Miss Swire. On that note, your family's group maintains its clarion reputation. It was a surprise, though, that their candidate for investment executive was you. I also just happened to learn that you've apparently registered a new business here in Siesta, operating in the construction, cultural, and recreational fields.
It appears your trust isn't quite in me, Mr. Mayor. You think I don't hold enough clout in the conglomerate yet?
Of course not. The future is always in your hands as the young ones. Just the dealings we had with the corporation from Victoria happened to pop into my head. That was 30 plus years ago by now.
Freeing itself from the swollen ambitions of Victoria wasn't a casual affair for Siesta then. Anyone even remotely familiar with Siestan history would understand that. And the sheer capacity you demonstrated in the dispute, Mayor. Mayor Herman still has politicians abuzz today. For my part, you don't need to be too anxious. I'm not here in any convoluted capacity. Besides, all I've brought are sincere partnership and more business opportunities.
You, Miss Swire, intend to contest Mountain Dash Logistics for the rights to develop the newly constructed plate. I, of course, am willing to see friendly competition from both sides, and Siesta is always welcoming of partnerships in good faith. I very much look forward to the proposals you submit at bidding, and wish you pleasant journeys for the rest of your time in Siesta. After you're back in Lungman, please send your grandfather my regards. Well, she sends him her regards, the regards all right, but we'll get that at the end. It's actually a really cool part. I like that. But anyways.
I'm not signing this thing. We've already moved once before.
Wow, how did I read before as because? My brain. Scatterbrain. Any brain. Here we go, brain. Let's work.
We've already moved once before, and you're still putting us through this rigmarole?
What a word. Rigmarole. Anyways.
And how do you expect us to make a living once you shut our place down anyway? If the mayor can't give us a clear explanation, we're not even thinking about relocating.
Or are you going to force us? Costa, you wormed your way into City Hall. Those bigwigs don't even live in the same universe as us, and now all you can do is jump when they say jump? You can't figure something out with us? Even if you're not here to take over your grandpa's coffee shop, we still need this street to make a living. We've been racking our brains looking for a way to spark business here again. Help us think of something, okay? Oh, if it isn't Mr. City Hall himself, here to kick us off our street again. Forget the moment you wore that fancy uniform just where you came from. I'm ashamed for your grandfather. I hate my job.
Excuse me, is my ice cream ready?
Coming right up. The elderly shopkeeper there, the old man, his voice. What's funny about that one and how that came to me is it kind of reminds it, like he just gives me the look and reminds me of the older people and is it Dr. Barrel or something? Barrel Casket, the old man in Mega Man Legends that travels with Mega Man and Roll on the ship. He's got a voice like that. If you listen to it, it's kind of similar. Mega Man. You know, it's just where I got the inspiration for the elderly shopkeeper. But anyways, sorry for the wait. Here's your quadruple scoop.
By the way, that man who got his head chewed off, who's he?
Never mind him. Just an ill omen trying to tear our homes down. Huh.
Got what I asked for?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone notice you coming here?
Officer, I'm sorry to report, Luton Liv saw me. Luton Liv.
What? Ahem. All right. Is that out of our systems? You can hand me the stuff now.
Did you get down with insiders like this as a cop too? It's kind of cool. This bag has general info on every shop in the commercial district. How many live at each, roughly how their business is going, the personalities of the owners you asked about. I've noted you down a little of all that. In this bag is a series of Mountain Dash's recent maneuvers. Something about some kind of purchase of Siestan specialties, and they say they're selling them off at Victoria and Columbia, in pretty decent quantities too.
Well, good going. How did you even get your hands on these Mountain Dash files?
Totally simple, just had to apply to be a freight trucker with them.
Well, signs say the Bison's kid trying to buy out the people's will this way.
Signs say the Bison's kid's trying to build... Yeah, okay.
Yes, that does seem his style. Suppose he manages to build a new distribution center here. Would the populace here want to switch jobs?
Enos, give me a curacao.
You got it.
Blue curacao. I like mixing drinks with that. What's got you moody? I can tell, actually. You're sick of it too, no? Hanging the sign back up and all, again and all. You guys doing a little protesting that way? All this crap is a killer. The love fouls next door were all over each other at first. Now they're arguing day by day about the rehousing. Here's your drink. 1 curacao.
There's negative interest in moving on this street.
For the most part, yeah. Moving means planning a whole new life from scratch. We only just moved aboard the nomadic city, and a lot of us are still getting used to it. Even tourists are a rarity now, after all. Business is hard enough as it is, and plenty ended up unemployed. Move again, and life gets even harder. Enos shakes his head and gives up on the subject.
Enos, if I wanted to run a place like yours, how much would upkeep be on average?
Per month, about 500 gold certificates, just under that.
That little.
I can buy a lot of stuff secondhand elsewhere, or just make it myself. Plus, with how we usually conserve on utility bills, it adds up a lot less than you think. Sometimes it really makes me wonder, have rich people like you just gone your whole lives without that much worry? Does a person just need enough money and everything in life shakes out how they want?
Money's a hassle killer, but not an issue solver.
If we have to move, if there's no other choice, then what are you thinking? Once you get contracted for this plate, what are you going to build here?
I'd rather ask you first. If a rebuild is guaranteed, then what would you want this high street to become?
Strictly in fantasy terms?
Mm-hmm.
A giant water park. We'd build the land's biggest water park, second to none. Maybe it might even draw in some tourists. That way, we wouldn't need to let this bar go either, probably. And plus, my little brother and sister have been hounding us forever about going to a water park.
Ooh, good idea.
Is that all it takes? You make me feel like you're not even here to compete for real versus the Mountain Dash boy.
Plenty who vied with me thought the same thing. And they all rolled over and lost.
I love her mentality. I'd adore Swire. Anyways, that's some kind of power.
Enos, help me paint the shop sign here. The fair trade's...
I keep reading that as fair trade.
The trade fair's right around the corner, and we need our storefront looking the best it can.
Coming! You know, we still have paint left over from last time, and I bought a couple of string lights for cheap a few days ago. Want me to go put those up in a bit?
Sure, and if there's any paint left after that, give the tables and chairs and picture frames a new coat too. Loot and Liv were saying they learned how to draw from someone, right? Can you tag them in too?
Sure, will do now.
Hey, Enos. Paint the sign in orange. I have eyes you can trust. This will draw in more customers than before, guaranteed.
Orange. Orange is, fun fact, Toby's favorite color. He loves orange. Don't really know where that came from, but it's one of them things. He just picked up on orange. He's been on it since. Costa forgets how he even got there. At some point since moving to New Siesta, this atypically architected building cropped up on his route home from work. Buried somewhere in him is the impression he'd handled its paperwork. The Volcano Museum? Why would people go to all the effort to put a museum for this on this luxurious plate? What's to study about volcanoes? Stop it!
Nuh-uh, I want to see the big rock. I want to see the lava.
Why are you so desperate to see this stuff is a total mystery? Volcanoes are really cool. Cool. A phrase floats to Costa's mind. You can see such beautiful things from the tops of volcanoes. He vaguely remembers someone telling him.
Can you name all these volcanoes? I can.
Why would I ever need to know?
Okay, I'll tell you. This one is Mount Tambora. This one is Mount Katla. This one is Mount Merapi. And this one is Mount
Yasur.
Wow, you were behind me and just came up and said a thing and you scared me.
Sorry for that. How did I know that? I don't remember anymore.
I knew Mount Yasur. I knew that. It's the prettiest volcano in the land, and on top of it, you can see flowing lava everywhere, and they're like gentle little streams. I got all that from a book. I remember it really, really well. But I can't find any science and explanation stuff here. I need to show you how I got everything right. You did. You're right. Are we done? There's not even a placard in sight here. We're going. Apologies for inconveniencing you on your trip. This exhibition area isn't fully arranged yet, but explanatory text will soon be laid out on these. No, Mr. Volcano Man, I'm not done yet. You gotta keep listening. Costa is tugged by the hem of his jacket, somewhat helplessly stopped in place. He tries to explain that he really needs to go. He turns his head, and reflected in the glass display shelves, he sees an unexpected face. You... Costa? You're back. And I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It's my life. And my bad, I didn't realize there were customers in. That's weird though. How come someone's sitting in a cafe reading quietly while the Obsidian Festival's on? You mind if I practice guitar here? No, Grandpa'll rag on me for bothering customers again. Maybe I'll just bide my time so I get a new guitar sooner. What's that you're reading? A book about volcanoes? This is pretty cool. Can you lend it to me? Will you be here again tomorrow? Here we go. A sailor went to the sea.
Reap not what's sown by malice.
Okay, we're gonna protect. Let's do this.
Trust in me.
Anything outside the plan, I'll judge for myself.
Okay. We'll put Doggo Puss there. Okay. We'll put Shoe there.
Breeze, timely rain. Now we sow the grain.
Okay.
They'll be sleeping.
Oh, we got a big
This
fella.
dragged on for too long.
We'll hold up. We'll be alright.
For them, the bell tolls.
Clear skies for teaming, rain clouds for gleaming.
Let's do one of these.
I know what you want.
Your lives, now ignited. Bad luck. You ran into me.
Weird, I thought her thing would have hit there, but I guess not.
Waiting for your call.
Okay.
So you wrapped your brain.
Okay, this is working well so far.
Ready to move. Valiant struggle. But you won't get away.
I'll put Pookie there, just for a little backup on that lane, just in case they slip by Doggo Puss. He's pretty good because he's got everything checked out there, but... Okay. Let's activate you. Let's activate you.
When summer leaves the white dew.
We'll let them go back and forth. It's not gonna hurt anything. You know what? Let's do this. Poof.
Ready to move. This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Do another one over here. Boy, they take them out real quick. I remember when I first played this, having trouble with those big boys.
Where do you wish to begin the fire?
Poof. Bye-bye. Oh, come on. Texas, you get in there. Help take them down. They're harder than the big boys.
If you'll really sow the mountains when summer leaves the
Nice.
white dew.
All done. Oh, looks like you're all done sorting. Nice job.
Mr. Dolly, shouldn't you keep an eye or two on your clones? Do you know how much trouble they'll make for everyone, letting them run amok like this?
The fluffy creature stands by a container, its head stooped very low, seemingly conveying some apology to the person in front of it. I told you not all of them are me. I did bring them here, true. But I'm only indirectly to blame here, right? So, sorry.
Just saying sorry isn't going to fix this. If their merchandise gets damaged, what are the shopkeepers going to do? Your clones are being nuisances. Can't you do anything to stop them?
I do actually have something. Under normal circumstances, I could choose to cry.
Cry?
Like this. I face into whatever, the sea, the wasteland, and I lift two hooves up like this and I yell, "Hey! Where are you guys? Come here, quick!" Like that. Adele, you're going to have to help me for that. I've cried too many times, so sometimes they act like they haven't heard me.
So, we just have to call them over.
We need something to lure them to, like ice cream here, or we've got balloons and skateboards and stuff. But remember, don't call them little black sheep or lambs. They won't even know what you mean by them. That you mean them. Dolly looks up expectantly at Adele.
Hey! Ice cream here! Hey, we have balloons and skateboards! Come here, quick!
Oh, God, I forgot this part. Oh, man.
What? Ice cream? Is it free? Miss, is it true? I want strawberry.
Is there some kind of event? Are you giving out balloons?
Huh? No,
Adele turns, looking to point out the deed doer. Dolly's jumped up on one of the neighboring containers, running circles around them like a deflating balloon. But the pedestrians just don't see it. Uh-oh, something's happened. You're gonna have to go get ice cream with them to fix this, and probably buy balloons too, and ramble the streets and soak up the Siesta sun. Tough one, huh? What a big coincidence that I know of a really good ice cream shop. How about I lead the way?
Mr. Dolly! So this is how you corral visitors into your volcano museum. Buying ice cream for strangers. I think I like this. Dearie, how about we spend the afternoon exploring the museum?
Perfect. Then after that, we'll go for barbecue.
Let's go. Thank you very much.
Adele sees the group off and looks around, trying to find any trace of Dolly. In the stream of pedestrians, Dolly is all but vanished already. All that's there is a lone little black sheep, staring pointedly at a wallet turning into bills in a wandering tourist's hands.
What's it about to do?
It stole the wallet. Right as the tourist and shopkeeper are haggling, it leaps forth. And in one chomp, makes off with the tourist's wallet.
Huh?
Where'd my wallet go? Someone stole my wallet! Huh? What kind is it? Dark or light? Just now? But I didn't see anyone, did you?
Oh no, Mr. Dolly's not here either. I have to catch it, quick!
The little black sheep holding the wallet notices Adele, opens its mouth, and the wallet falls out. Then with a kick of its hoof, it goes sailing through the air and falls back down straight into its wool. Delighted trots. Then it seems the wallet hits something with a bang, and a pebble full of holes shoots out from the little black sheep's coat.
That's the whistling rock.
The little black sheep looks back and forth, and before the rock lands, it kicks again with its hoof to send it flying straight back in. And after all that, it sticks its tongue out at Adele with an impish expression, and turns to gallop down Fashion Street.
Hey, wait up! Give everyone their stuff back!
There were $3 gold certs are rare collectibles here. They'll fetch a big price at the trade fair. Miss, are you sure you won't think about it? I've got a price I can give you. The dealer gestures out a number.
Really? Could you take a look at this then?
This is old Higashini's issue. I'll take it for this much.
And this?
A Gaulish copper laver. I'll take this. I'll take it too. Miss, what else have you got? Bring it all out. There, my premiere finished up, so now that's one less distraction. Miss, how much did you bring? Last one, I swear, the very last one. I'll take one more and then I'm going home.
Then take a look at this. After this, I could afford a whole new device.
Ah, it's our own Sargonian mint. Let me see what we've got. We've got Gaviol.
Yep. Is that valuable?
Valuable? No, this is the end of our talk. I don't do any business with thin tails. You take all of this back. I'm leaving. The dealer grabs a handful of loose coinage and furiously shoves it into Snozen's hands, attempting to leave. Thin tails. Suddenly something speeds by, knocking the coins right out of his grip. Money rains, gold and glittering to the sky, to the high street pavement, and before Snozen can yelp in surprise, a pink shadow follows after her. Right after, running into the distance.
Eyjafjalla? Sorry, Snozen.
What the hell?
Wait, my coins! I'm missing two!
Don't look at me! It's the sheep. Clink! The fluffy creature stashes the gleaming little roundlets into its own wool. Mr. Eastman, I'm here to pick up my photocopies. Right. All these flyers are yours. You really put your back in printing this much just to advertise your bar. $2.98, $2.99. That's exactly right. Here's the fee. I'm not taking money off you for this. I'll just say, next time I drop in at the White Volcano, mix me your house oasis. Heavy on the ground cardamom. Appreciate it. Also, can you help change out my shop sign 1 minute? Of course I can. Thank you.
Mr. Enos!
Adele? What's the hurry?
Look out! Look out!
I love how they made him go flying like right up off the screen. Before Enos can react, a giant force smacks straight into him. Sent airborne for an instant, he sees Siesta upside down and paper scattering everywhere. Oof! Ow! Ouch! Ow! What just... Excuse me. The little black sheep snatches a flyer in its mouth and resumes its straightaway gallop.
Mr. Enos, I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. Huh? Several stares, Adele shrinks into the horizon, giving chase to a flyer blowing in the wind. Times really are changing. Youngsters have such urgent schedules these days. Weird. What knocked me over just now? I've never seen anything as strange as this. Crash! The Eastman print shop sign falls down and lands right where Enos was still standing a moment ago. The little sheep are causing chaos. I love it. Boing, boing.
Where did it go?
It's like hide and seek.
Mr. Dolly, this isn't the time to play around. If we don't catch the little black sheep soon, more people are going to lose their things.
No. They aren't going to lose anything. They're just borrowing it for a little fun. They'll give it all back. Actually, why do you never play with children your age? Are you just going to keep yourself shut in a lab, even on a summer like this?
Mr. Dolly, I'm not a child anymore, and studying Mount Siesta is very important. It's a very important job which I shouldn't be distracted from. But right now, finding these little black sheep is more important so we can stop them from causing a ruckus.
I know how lonely children work. I know how many love using "I'm busy with work" as an excuse.
This shop looks empty, but the little black sheep just...
Who are you?
Excuse me, I lost my pet. It ran off. I think I saw it enter this coffee shop just now.
Adele blabbers as she lifts her head. She sees Mockingbird Cafe in pretty type across the shop door. This cafe went out of business a year ago. The door's always locked.
but I definitely saw it wriggle inside just now, straight through.
What kind of pet did you lose?
A beck beast.
Ah, no, don't you associate with my clones with those animals. Okay, a beck beast. Costa feels around in his pocket and pulls out a key, which he inserts, twists, and with a few ancient-sounding creaks, the door yawns open. It's dark inside. All the blinds are down, repelling much of the sunlight from entering. The air stirs with the dust and a yesteryear aroma of coffee. Is your beck beast in here?
I don't think it is. I'm so sorry. Sorry to bother you.
That's fine. I was just here to pick up a few things anyway. The property deed should be right. No, not there.
Sir, are you the owner of this cafe?
Not anymore. I won't be. This shop and all the shops on this street are due to be demolished soon.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. The demolition isn't news to anyone here. Not in this cupboard either.
Sir, what does it look like? The thing you're looking for. I can help you, maybe.
It's a red binder.
Ugh, it really is dark.
Girl, are you sure you can see anything in here? The place closed ages ago. Might be tricky to get the lights on. It's fine if we can't find it. I'm not in that big of a rush. Carry on searching for your pet. I'll keep an eye out for you. Come on, girl. There's no clones of mine here. No whatever you're looking for. Off to the next location. It's all pitch black. I can't see a thing. Nothing like when I went surfing in Siesta before. So, what does it look like?
It's a pink and white beck beast carrying a volcanic rock on it. The kind that whistles in the wind.
It whistles in the wind. Is it named Whistling Rock?
Yes it is. How do you know?
Costa continues rummaging. He pulls open a dust-caked cupboard, out of which he pulls a vintage guitar, smashing straight onto his knee. Pling!
Sir, are you all right?
The sound of the guitar's impact rings in the air, a lingering acoustic hum, as if someone was playing on it. They sound just like that when blown across those stones, like you could perform music on them. I'm getting sidetracked. Oh, the romance. Whistling rocks are like guitars. How did I never think of that? Is your pet carrying one of those? That's an odd luxury. If I remember right, it's fairly uncommon.
It took it all by itself.
You're going to humiliate me. Don't tell people my clones are kleptomaniacs. Okay, if I see it, I'll get in touch with you. How should I go about doing that?
Oh, thank you. Please contact the Volcano Museum if you can. I'm one of the staff there. My name's Adele.
With another mysterious bump, all the old odds and ends in the cupboard slump into a landslide across the floor, burying the guitar beneath. Damn it!
Sir, are you sure you don't need help? It seems like you're not in that good of a mood.
A book falls into Adele's view. Under the light from outside, she parses its title clearly.
The Atlas of Terra's Volcanoes. Are you interested in volcanology too?
No, Well, no, it's not as if I hate it. This isn't my book. Let's get outside for now. You work at the Volcano Museum. Do you know, Keller?
I know Professor Keller. Are you friends?
She used to be a regular here, I guess. One summer, she suddenly left Siesta, together with 2 Latanians. I never got in touch with her after that. How's she been? She's doing all right in the museum, right?
Right. Professor Keller's been occupied with survey prep for Mount Siesta, and the museum's still under improvement. She's very busy.
She and you both work at the museum.
Professor Keller is its curator.
Curator? Now that's something. Well, if you can, please return this book to the curator for me. Where am I? Where am I? Find me if you can. Take the flowers in, maybe behind them's where I am. The little black sheep frolics about before stopping by a street lamp. Bang! The little black sheep leaps into the air and before Adele's eyes, vanishes like a cloud blown away in the breeze. With a ring and a clatter, a pebble, 2 coins, a sheet of paper, and a wallet all fall on the ground. Hide and seek!
Mr. Dolly!
Not me! But you didn't spend all of today cooped up inside the museum. You went out for a walk, you ate ice cream, you bought balloons, the sun's fine, the people are wonderful, and you made a new friend, haven't you? That's the stuff of life.
What is the seed you're after? Is this rock a seed?
You need to look slowly, take your time. The sun tomorrow's just as fine. Where am I? Where am I? Find me if you can.
Is it one of these coins? Or what's on this poster? Letter of intent for relocation. Is a coffee bean a seed, Mr. Dolly?
Take the flowers in, maybe behind them's where I am. Bang! And poof, he's gone.
Are we done yet? What are you
looking out smug for? These Thronesy have really wasted too much of our time. Oh. I still would like to cosplay Vigil someday, so that is one of those. I gotta figure that out and get the voice a little more down for him. SL-5, let's go. Why study volcanoes? Because I hope to play a guitar at the highest spot in Siesta one day. Doesn't have to be at the Obsidian Festival, and preferably at the top of a volcano. Volcano Sonatas, that's what I'm planning to call my first album. I can't wake the volcano up? Maybe I should call it Volcano Lullabies instead. Volcanoes sleep like a log, so I don't think you'll be able to wake it up that easily. Have you heard of this? About a kind of stone that you can find on a volcano. When the wind blows it away, it makes a sound like beans falling into a bowl. And if you soak it in the water, bubbles fizz like a complex drum line. Of course it's real. If I find such a stone on a volcano, I'll bring one back to show it to you. The doctor's been here. How are you feeling today? An old man lies on the hospital bed, his head tilted sideways as he looks out the window. Not so bad. If you hadn't come here to specifically remind me that I'm stuck in bed this summer, and a hospital bed should be more comfortable than an office chair. Thanks for sparing the energy to tease me, but my butt hasn't known the touch of a chair for the past few days. Perhaps we should switch places. The old man turns to look at his grandson standing beside his bed. So, my boy, why have you come to see me today? There's a letter of intent for relocation that I hope you can sign. City Hall staffer whispers the words as if admitting a mistake. A tired and bitter silence follows. It seems like this renovation plan is just so urgent that it can't even wait until I kick the bucket, huh? That's not it. I just thought you should know about it. Of course, I'd rather get your consent. If you want to convince me, then you should have at least brought Tisha along to visit. Tisha. She's at work right now. Everything you do is to make a living, right? I really don't get why a girl like that would marry a boring man like you. Let's just say I have inherited your talent for making girls happy. Humph. The hospital ward is quiet except for the faint sound of fruit being peeled. Work must have been tough these last few days. I've been having nothing but bizarre dreams lately, but after some thinking, I figured I haven't offended anyone, so my guess is that you've been chewed out a lot by a whole lot of people. Clever old man, you know my job so well. Well, what's your take? Are you really willing to let this shopping street get demolished and see the last traces of old Siesta disappear? Costa, there's a guitar in the cabinet behind you. Take it out and play a song for me. No thanks, you know that won't work. The old man speaks no more and turns his head away toward the window. I know that Mockingbird Cafe has been in Siesta longer than City Hall. Many of the shops on that street chose to stay when we moved from the volcano. But there are too many factors at play that make our life difficult, and the volcano doesn't even make the list. Coffee and music can only keep people alive at certain times. If I hadn't lucked out and gotten this job at City Hall, your medical bills would be too big a burden on the family. I'm not complaining, it's just... Alright, hand me a pen. You're such a brat, Costa. I hate that about you. Maybe I should have tossed you into the sea back when you were mixing your drip coffee with sparkling water. Thank you very much for not doing that. I do like that about you. Oh, man. You want to rent my hotel?
And make a little modification to the hot springs with your permission, of course. Price is negotiable.
I'm not interested in money. It's all the same, not a shred of beauty.
Well, money isn't the only bargaining chip. I definitely have something here that you'll be very interested in. Like this, for example.
This photo. Is that a piece of exhibit-grade obsidian?
So, how about renting these few hot spring hotels of yours to me for a few days, and I'll move this piece of obsidian over.
Don't play around with me. This is from some private museum's precious collection. How could you... Wait, you...
Uh-huh.
You'll keep your word?
Words hold no proof, so let's sign a contract, shall we?
Oh, man.
Snowsent, can you do some research to check if my plan is feasible? It's probably doable. Good. That means it is. I'll trust your judgment. No, I'm not certain. I'll need some tools and materials and a lot of time. Got you. I'll move on to the next step. Since we've decided to focus on making the residents of this street welcome our redevelopment, we'll have to make sure it's perfect. We can't waste this chance. With all the tourists drawn in by Bison's ads for his trade fair.
I almost did it again. Fair trade. I keep thinking fair trade. And I should know this because the company I work for does trade fairs and stuff. But anyways. No, not here. Data model for volcanic eruptions is definitely not in the files Professor Magna left for Adele. But why does Keller have this notebook with her?
Good work today. Cup of coffee?
No thanks. I'm not a coffee person.
Is Adele here today? Today isn't a work day, so what are you doing here? Do you need these old documents for your work over at City Hall?
Keller, why on terra did you invite Adele here?
I believe I made it quite clear before. The research in this museum is related to the Naumans, and the imminent eruption of Siesta's volcano is a rare observation opportunity. Adele is their child, and also an excellent volcanologist, so it is only right I extend an invitation to her.
Only now, after so many years with zero contact? You didn't attend the Naumans' funeral after the incident at Mount Una. You vanished without a trace from academic circles, and stopped your teaching work at the school a year ago. Just what have you been up to these last few years? What are you running from?
As you can see, the only thing I've done these past few years is organize all the volcanic research material that is now sits in this very museum. Khan, everyone has their limits. I no longer have any energy to do volcano field work. I'm preparing to retire after the museum is finished, and I've observed Mount Siesta's eruption.
What? Retire? Why would you even consider retirement at all? The Naumans left all their unpublished research data to you and Adele. Enough to make your mark on the academic world, and yet now you're saying you want to retire? Or could it be that you've already placed a price tag on that data behind closed doors and gained something even better in exchange?
Khan, I don't know what you're... Professor Keller, are you in here?
Keller, whatever your plans, I hope you'll consider the Naumans before making any decisions. Adele is their only child, and the only hope they've left behind. She's already contracted oropathy, and her condition isn't the best either. I just hope she can be happy and free.
Professor Keller? I'm in here, Adele. Come in. Professor Keller, I found the exhibit, and already put it back in the display cabinet.
All right, good work. Professor, what's wrong? Nothing much. Where did you find the exhibit? It was with a Beck beast that sneaked into the museum. How strange. All right, if there's nothing else, you can... Professor Keller, there's something else I wanted to mention. I met a shopkeeper on the street, and he asked me to return this book to you. A shopkeeper in the commercial street?
Bang! I can taste the fatigue in the air, so painfully bitter and sickeningly sour. I went about that a little too quick, so I got tongue-tied. Just who is it coming from?
Mr. Dolly, you scared me. Why are you here?
I just saw a beautiful streak of blue across the city. Want to go to a hot spring?
Mr. Dolly, I still have some research to do.
No. Research is such a bitter word. It makes you all wrinkly. The volcano is right there, and the material won't disappear either, so you can always come back to continue your research anytime. But... Dolly lightly tips his toes and spins in midair in what looks to be a somewhat comical dance. Some things are so fleeting that you'll never get a second chance to see if you miss it. For example...
Oh yeah, finally found you. Let's go. Want to visit the hot springs together? Hot springs?
I don't have the ability to control people's hearts, by the way.
But what? Didn't bring a swimsuit. That's fine. I have some over here. Over there. Besides us two, Snowsant will be there too. And we'll also call salon in a bit. I even brought some of the latest facial cream. They say there's volcanic ash inside. Plus, I have an important thing to ask of you, and you're the only one who can do it.
Is this the latest record player in the Colombian market? I didn't think I would be able to see one in Siesta. I've been paying close attention. They only started selling these just a few days ago. But these are the leftover stock. You already missed the first wave. You don't know this, but there was a super long line here this morning. The limited editions with Emperor's signature even come with a copy of his latest album, and that sold out forever ago. Emperor's latest album? Isn't that dropping next week? Is this what they call an early access batch? Who could even pull this off? It's not just Emperor's album either. There's also signed copies of Miss Sora's album, a Casimirsian Radiant Knight helmet model replica, and Cerny's Clavier collection. What's this? Huh? To think I'd find one of our Sarconian Krabby Pumpies here. Krabby Pumpies? What? But what use does it even have here in Siesta? Krabby Pumpies. What a funny name. Who cares? It's cute and that's all that matters. Did you miss the line of people queuing up to buy them? Whoa, they even got dates here.
Dates? Excuse me, Mr. Sargonian.
Bird casually strums a Sargon-style ditty.
Can you tell me a story of plucking dates in the hot and dry breeze?
These are instruments imported from Litanian, and I have to say, those Litanians sure are stellar at any music-related stuff. You can try if you like, and if you don't know how to play one, I can teach you a little too. The piece I just played? I performed it when me and my wife confessed our feelings to each other. If you fancy learning it, I have a sheet here that you can have. Best snacks around here, you ask? See that bearded old man on the left? His ice cream is the best. Slowly now, take it easy. Strawberry for you, orange for you. Yours is coffee. And what else? Coconut with chocolate. Ow, no need to rush. We have plenty here.
Mister, give me a tea-flavored one.
Sure, coming right up.
Thank you. I'll send this to Schwartz, too. It will make her drool.
Dr. Salon, you here for the trade fair, too? I said it right! Let's go!
Stop by for a stroll since I happen to have some time today.
Enos, you good lad. Thank you for fixing the cash register this morning. Things would have been so hectic otherwise.
It's nothing. Just helping out is all. How's business?
So good I almost thought I was back in the old Siesta.
But why haven't I seen that Costa fellow anywhere today? He spent the whole day running all over the place for this, and now that everything is in motion, that man is nowhere to be found. Maybe there's other work to do at City Hall today. That rascal doesn't even know how to ditch work. Boss, give me a cone. Coming. Feel free to come try our cocktails over at the White Volcano, too. You brat. He's stealing business. Enos leans against the soda fountain, watching the surrounding people come and go. Did you see my little siblings earlier? It's their first time in such a bustling place. They kept clamoring for some volcano coffee or something on our way here, but as soon as I handed them a little pocket money, they were gone in a flash. Though, I don't think I've spotted any kids here. The little runts aren't here. If you want to find them, you have to go over to the East Street. They say there's a new amusement park over there or something, and my own brat even told me over breakfast he'd help me look after the store. I haven't heard from him ever since he learned about that place. An amusement park? Can I open my eyes now, Miss Swire? Also, what was the important thing you were mentioning earlier? Did some of those secretly mined obsidian appear in this hotel too? Or do you need a normal volcanologist for your work, or... Neither. No volcanoes here, and no data either. Only a comforting hot spring. So now you just have to get into some pretty clothes, and then... Alright, you can open your eyes now. Wow, there's so many tourists! What happened here? Wasn't it just a hot spring before? It's so lively, just like Siesta a few years back. She's such a pretty swimsuit, a pretty design with her swimsuit skin. She's pretty overall. I adore Eyjafjalla. A few tourists erupt into cheering, and Adele recovers from her surprise. There's so many kayaks and water installations here. Miss Swire, are these your... Yep, this is the water park I'm setting up for the commercial street. Wow, did you do all of this by yourself? Not by myself, of course. I provided the plans, but we have our chief genius engineer from Lungman to thank for making this a reality, Snowsant. Miss Swire, that title is a bit too much. Really now? Jan's number one, Tara's number one genius engineer. She made her all embarrassed. Wait, Snowsant, don't run around like that, be careful. Oh, it's flying! How did you do that? How are these surf kayaks actually flying straight from one hot spring channel to the other? Actually, it's not as complicated as it looks. We just needed to add a pneumatic ejection device on the waterways. So once the kayak reaches this spot, it'll trigger the mechanism and then it'll... Yay, I can fly! Mama! There aren't any guardrails on the waterways, so I'm a little worried about... I redesigned the kayaks according to Swire's plan, and they come equipped with a comprehensive emergency cushioning system. It's also the second way you can play with these, as bumper kayaks. They can freely collide on the waterways, and the cushioning system will absorb all the impact force, using it to power the kayak's water guns and spray water forward. I didn't mention it to the tourists, but many of them seem to have already mastered this secret. Look over there. Along with a shriek, a kayak spins in the waterway, seemingly about to fall off the channel. The airbags at the kayak's edge quickly inflate, wrapping up the passengers, but as the kayak drops, its trajectory is interrupted suddenly, as if there is a transparent barrier in the air. Water splashes onto the ground. The completely wrapped kayak sways and falls downward. Hey, you all right? Anyone hurt? I'll go take a look first, Aya. Just wait here a second. Tourists surround the fallen kayak, but there is only giggling bubbling from the center. With a puff of the bulging air cushions, two children emerge from within. It's them. It's all your fault for moving around so much. We didn't catch the little lamb, and our Siestan adventure is ruined. Nuh-uh, it's not my fault the lamb ran so fast. Lamb? I don't see them here either. It must be tiring taking care of your younger siblings, yes? Children of that age love to play around and make so much noise. Thanks for the concern, but it's fine this way too. They're having fun at least. You have a lot to worry about as an older brother. Now that I think back on some past incidents, I think like a friend might feel the same sometimes. Do you have an older sibling, Dr. Salon? I've never heard. It's your fault. It's all your fault. Hey, you brats, where did you run off to? Enos! It's Enos! We sat on a big air cushion boat and chased a fluffy little lamb. What are you talking about? What lamb? A fluffy little lamb that lifted our boat with its head to play with it like a ball. When we catch it, we gotta make it sit in our boat. Enos, over there! The lamb is back! Where? Look up! Wait, these are surfboards. Why are they flying in the sky? Surfboards and swim rings. They use the hot spring steam to leap into the air, jumping over Fashion Street and into the sky, beyond the tourist's view. Everyone's eyes are glued to the objects, swirling around as if living creatures. And Adele sees something slightly different than the others. The surfboards cruising across the sky have sheep standing on them. They don't seem content with just racing the waterways. Hot water, vapor, colorful surfboards, and swim rings. The sheep sweep them all up, and together they pour into the hustle and bustle of Fashion Street. This is bad. Dolly said he would teach them a lesson. Was he lying to me? Oh no, they're splashing the hot spring water everywhere. Snowsent, did you design a flying surfboard behind my back because I rejected your idea for an observation wheel suspended above the hot spring? No? Didn't you arrange this, Miss Swire? No, it wasn't me either. The two look at each other and then hesitantly turn their gazes towards Adele, who has been standing to the side the whole time. Adele? You? What? No, it's not me either. Odd. Could it be Bison then? Yoo-hoo! Little lamb! Fluffy little lamb! The lamb is flying! I'll go look. Whoa! Aya, Snowsent! The surfboards are really flying. Whatever, let's get on those things. Who's in charge here? Quick, someone should mass produce these surfboards. Woohoo! Mr. Dolly! Is this the hot spring you were talking about? I can sing a rainbow.
Reap not what's sown by malice.
Anything outside the plan, I'll judge for myself.
Put Doggo Puss there. Just for a few moments.
Wow, looks awfully dangerous.
We'll put her there.
Your lives are mine to protect. The Revenant's battling with poor little guy. It's your unlucky day.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
Yeah, let's put him there. I think we're in good shape. We can pull up Shoe here.
A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Urban Whirlwind Walker. And she just blasts it apart.
If you're really incapable, I plant you into the soil to grow
Boom!
anew.
We're pretty well settled here.
They'll be sleeping with the fiends in no time.
Poof. Halfway.
I hear the element veil, the curtain of destiny.
This endless burn. You needn't fall.
Boom.
So you wrapped your brain. Always so
19.
focused. But
20.
haven't forgotten.
5 to
So
go.
look above. I wasn't supposed. I plant you into the soil
Boom.
to grow anew.
Ready to move. Let's put an end to this show.
Oh my. And there's the last one. Done. Thanks to her. I mean, I may actually have a chance to beat Dolly in the end of this. We'll see. Why are you still here? I'm going to be scuttling around here like a 4-legged metal crab on the beach until I get all of your signatures. Fine, scuttle on then. I'm packing up, going home and having a drink. Be my guest. I bought this new gadget at the market today. This Originium microwave massager something or other. Colombian thing. Can't make sense of it, but it works wonders. Feels like a real relief sticking it on my back. It's not bad trying something new. Was that Shaggy Beckbeast riding a surfboard on the roof of one of your funnies too? Shaggy Beckbeast? No, that's not. Shame about that. I liked it. Entertainment that good has been rare ever since we lost the Obsidian Festival. I'm glad it made you happy. Right, got something for you. Kalimba. Did you pick this up from the same market? Congrats on the marriage, Sonny. You got a safe job for your family, a boring one, but you got a sense of responsibility. I can understand you like stability, but life's full of ways. Don't live out the hound days, son. Each day lived is a hound day. You just have to roll with the punches. I used to gamble with your grandpa, if you'll remember. We said you'd always come back from Obsidian with the grand prize one day. Honestly, what a waste of all that musical talent. If you're interested, I can still bring my guitar out sometime. Play it for you again. If you'd played us a number on that thing sooner, your letter might have been the first to have my signature on it. Thanks.
Mrs. Harley, we recovered the surfboards that went missing here. Can you check if that's all of them? I'm so sorry about this. You helped me here. What are you apologizing for? I didn't think these old things would ever get used again. It's funny. Just who would have taken them? Oh, well, I'm not too sure either. That's all right, girl. It could be some tourists just picked them up while they were having too much fun. No harm, no foul. How are you? Did you have fun today? You mean getting drenched in hot spring water? Didn't it bring back a little of that seaside fun? It hasn't been so lively in forever. Even the customers here to drink were all smiles. Those owners were always frowning day in and day out. Even the drink was starting to taste bad. Harley looks toward the tourists outside, who still haven't scattered. Sunset gradually dyes the sky. Every single person's feeling merry. It's like we've gone back years and years. A man listlessly heads for the old cafe and pushes open its door once again. He feels for the light switch. Carefully, he uses a rag to wipe the dust from the counter, then pulls the equipment out from the cupboards, before pulling a pouch out of his chest pocket. Fresh coffee beans, brought back from the office. Like so many years ago, he boils, he grinds, then attentively he pours. Flavors. I guess I've gotten rusty. He looks out of the window. One after another, people make their way home while it's still dusk. The street grows gradually more desolate, until there's no one out at all. Only then does he chuckle to himself bitterly. Seriously, what the hell am I waiting for? He finishes his coffee and prepares to tidy everything away and get out of here. A knock comes from the door. Custer remembers he never even shut it. Who is it? Good evening. Are you still open? Mr. Dolly, you promise you made it clear to the little black sheep not to cause trouble like this anymore? Yep, any more mess and I'll disavow them as my clones. Tumbles about in the air. It's a drunk one. Headbutts walls in the street. Mr.
Dolly! Fine, I'll try as hard as I can. Attempts to walk calmly. See? Much better. But they still caused plenty of chaos at the trade fair today. But the air was full of the smell of joy, you mean? It's sugary sweet now, even now. It's like just like the first time I took a walk across the countries you talk about. Where there's hilly areas you can glide, where there's watery areas you can surf. I even had a couple of bastard annoying animals chasing me all over the wilds. Every place produces something different. Knowing how your human race can't just tour the whole place, getting to see such interesting things must be a novel for you, right? Why do I get the sense you're showing off, Mr. Dolly? Busted! Did you have fun today then, Adele? Hot springs let you relax, skateboarding's a thrill, and that loud-ass penguin's loud-ass music got you pumped up, didn't it? Mr. Dolly, those children could see the lambs. How's it this hard to cheer you up? There's that brooding flavor in the air. Again, bitter and tart. Adele turns away to hide a little giggle, then recovers her straight face. Mr. Dolly, we're here. I need to leave the owner a note saying we found the exhibit and thank you for worrying about us. I have the pen and paper in my bag. Oh, is this cafe open again? Dim yellow lights perfuse the interior. Through the windows, the cafe's furnishings can vaguely be made out. Costa pours hot water, the sound breaking the silence between him and his customer. Condensation fills the windows. Adele gently wipes the hot spring's white mist from the glass and finally catches a proper glimpse of the customer. What did we stop for? Aren't we going in for coffee? Professor Keller? I got the Atlas of Terra's volcanoes. I never thought you'd have kept it safe for so many years. Thank you. I asked a little lady. She came here looking for some exhibit. Just so happened to be the volcano museums. Is, she your employee? Adela's my student. Your student. Right. You've been quite the miserable worker at City Hall lately, gathering signatures for an LOI to relocate the residents. My parents left their own little clothing shop. Reasonably speaking, I should need to sign too. Do you have any objections to the redevelopment then? Our family stopped leaning on this place for our livelihood long ago. If it would make your work go any smoother? Of course. Thank you for your cooperation. Want another cup? Can that come with the old complimentary chat then? As a qualified barista, listening is part of my work. Take a seat then. Maybe we should go, Mr. Dolly. Today doesn't seem like the right one to leave a message. But the coffee smells so good! Can't we have some? Prepares to charge headlong into the cafe. Hey! The closed glass door blocks the lamb's strike, and it hardly makes as loud a noise as she expected. It simply turns tail and shoots back into the street, where it tumbles around. Adele nervously observes how the two inside react. Why did you up and leave when you did? I met two very interesting people. When you study volcanoes, you're always visiting new places. I remember. You met each other in here a lot. And if they came, you'd plug your guitar in, and off you went with your heavy metal racket. Magna always felt that boy at the cafe never seemed to welcome them too much. I was just a little too willful of a brat back then. It wasn't meant at them specifically. I know, and they didn't take it to heart. You gave them coffee soda to try once, and make us swear to secrecy that we wouldn't tell Grandpa Mockingbird. He couldn't stand the drinks I came up with. Every time I added them to the menu, he'd wipe them off. They were just as bizarre to him as my axe and my drum kit. By the way, that wasn't just your average coffee soda. It was called volcanic coffee. All right, yes, volcanic coffee. It was a nice drink. In any case, after we went to Laetanian, Katya would follow your recipe to recreate the flavor for himself. How are Katya and Magna doing? I remember when you left Siesta, you said you'd be visiting every volcano across the land with them. I spent a long time with them on our travels. But a few years ago, we strayed apart. Strayed? Yes. And we're never to meet again.
Was it? I'm so sorry.
Hence why I came back. Opened that museum. Hoped I could preserve all the research they'd done.
When I saw you at the museum that day, it totally blindsided me.
It was a great surprise to me, too. You're nothing like the noisy little child I remember.
You too. You're a museum curator and everything.
I suppose I've turned an old ideal or two into reality. No matter what, though, the conviction that keeps me going now isn't really what drove me in the first place anymore. Still, change isn't always a bad thing, wouldn't you say?
The two lapse into silence for a while. The customer lightly stirs at the coffee in her cup. Did you go to the trade fair today?
The trade fair? I did. Tourists were profuse, proprietors were in high spirits, much like the Siesta of old.
Maybe once this place is all rebuilt and the tourist influx comes, I'll have an idea or two about what's next for me.
For example?
Who knows? I'll probably keep running a cafe, but maybe a rock and roll cafe, or just a music shop, filled to the walls with drum kits and guitars. Lots to try. Always someone out there who will enjoy. Just like you say. Just like the Siesta of old. Oh, something very funny that happened today too. I was at the trade fair, and I saw this soft drink from Colombia. The recipe was 1-for-1 with my volcanic coffee, the exact same.
Well, I didn't leak your secret recipe.
Oh no, it was a year ago when I was planning to shutter the shop. I told somebody else about how to make it. But honestly, it's just coffee plus soda water. Of course, some Colombian could have come up with it in their own too.
Hand-brewed coffee and soda water. How did you come up with it at first?
When I was young, I thought coffee was so bitter. I was convinced I had to add something to even make it drinkable.
You shook the whole cafe playing your rock and roll, and yet you were bad with bitter.
Who'd care about something like that back then? Keller laughs, drowning the last gulp of coffee in her cup. Downing the last gulp of coffee in her cup. The aroma lingers lazily in the cafe air. So, want soda in this cup too?
Sure. But after this one, I may well genuinely spend the whole night awake.
That's one thing that's strange. Like, I get people, you know, they drink a little coffee and whatnot, and even I have coffee in the morning. For me, coffee provides the warming effect that wakes me up a little bit and gets me a little alert for my day, but caffeine doesn't affect me. Now, if I don't have caffeine, like, say I sleep in too long on the weekend and I wake up, you know, it's not a case that I've, you know, slept in a bad position, but I will wake up sometimes with a headache if I've slept too long because I haven't had coffee yet. But coffee and caffeine and things like that, energy drinks, whatnot, I mainly use them to keep me like alert and level because the caffeine doesn't keep me awake. It never prevents me from sleeping. That's a strange thing about me, or maybe I've just gotten too used to it. And I'm not so bad on a caffeine dependency to where like those headaches get really severe or anything like that. They'll go away on their own, or if I take a little headache medicine and just get something to drink or a cup of coffee, I'm good. I'm fine afterwards. I never get it like debilitating like people with actual caffeine withdrawals and stuff can get. But I guess I'm just so used to it. It's part of my routine that if I don't get it within a certain time, my body will just be like, hey, you know, come on, you need that. It hurts a little bit up here. So I don't know, a little strange, but fun fact. Anyways, Adele, let me just be upfront. I told them what I told them, but a lot of them are dying to go inside, probably to taste the volcanic coffee. To make up for the owner's losses, I can leave a product from today's trade fair in exchange.
A product from the fair? Where'd you get it? A lovely little child gave me it. Honest. We can't go in now.
Sniffs in corner. Turns over a box. The restless lambs drag a case of glass bottles out from the junk to Adele's side and zealously churn through it for something. Eventually, they get a few bottles of carbonated water clamped in their mouths and pull off the metal caps, acting like they've found treasure.
What are you doing? Didn't you want to...
Did that say want to a soda?
Yeah, didn't you want a soda?
The lambs bounce about, each one with a shiny bottle cap on their head. Then they line up together and playfully scamper away.
I said to wait.
What makes them even more impatient than me?
What was thou that?
Oh, that's the seed they were after.
What about these bottle caps makes them seeds?
The world as they see it isn't quite the world you all see. This itty-bitty little round thing gets taken by foul beasts to places far, far away where it takes root and sprouts and becomes something completely unlike before. Some become soda caps, some become sauce lids. Each one has a different flavor, but they'll all have their own charms. I assume at least one of them drank that sort of volcanic coffee in Colombia before, so this rings that bell in them particularly loud. Isn't it more than fascinating to view the world that way? Digs at the soil.
But all that granted, just because you planted the bottle caps doesn't mean they're going to grow into drinks.
Let them have their fun. The answers will grow by themselves. Hello, Costa here. Mr. Costa, this is your grandfather's clinician. I'm sorry to tell you this, but your grandfather passed away this evening. I can't know if this will be any comfort to you, but I want you to know he left us peacefully.
Monster.
What a shame. And what a way to end it. Wow. For that particular stage. All right. So with that being said, let's do this tutorial real quick, and that will wrap up this episode. And then we'll have one more. We'll wrap it up in one more episode for the finale. Ganbarimasu! Bison, Salon, and Skyfire?
The shimmering lights here seem a little strange. That's a sign that a fluffy buddy is present. If carmine steam or pure white steam appears on a tile with a fluffy buddy on it, they will turn visible and immediately explode, producing more steam clouds of the same type.
Right? Yeah, Skyfire. I was right. Yeah, see? Poof. There they are. Okay. Why is Dolly here in this one? I don't remember this.
Aha! Here I come! Our attacks seem to be merely tickling Dolly. Is this due to his wool shield?
I think he just like walks through on this tutorial, so this is just giving you like a heads up for the boss fight or something. Weird enough. There's Eyjafjalla.
But you can weaken a shield by attacking him while next to a decorative geyser. Don't forget, you can also significantly weaken Dolly's shield by smashing steam soda bottles near him.
Okay. Almost there.
When Dolly's wool shield completely disappears, he'll no longer receive reduced damage and won't be as rowdy as before. The best time for a showdown is when Dolly falls to the ground.
Business competitor or not, you will
Fasten your seatbelts, everyone. I'm starting the meter now.
Everybody wail on him. Get him done.
Says a logistics operator.
Let's go. We got it.
I'm leaving. We shall meet again after you've found the things I lost.
out with it. Fire! Blaze! Inferno! Watch out for fires! Huh? Time is money!
I think it's kind of like pointless right now. Yeah, because he's just going to go anyways.
今の状況にはこれが良いかしら。
but that's our ticket of how to beat him. It's just that this tutorial is only for the purpose of teaching us how to win for the boss fight, which is still a couple stages away, but still.
Capital is all mergers and acquisitions. Victory is like investigation and arrest.
Anyways. All right. Awesome. Dolly's task list. Let's go ahead and collect our stuff here. And now we have Bryophyta, or Enos.
Hello, Doctor. I'm Ennis, and I'm formally joining Rhodes Island today.
I got it wrong. I had it right the very first time I pronounced it. I think Ennis, I've seen it spelled E-N-N-I-S, so. Well.
I hope I'll get to leave my mark on the mountain.
We'll go back to Ennis then in the next episode. Damn. I kind of like Enos better. What the hell? Because it's only one N. But anyways, all right. So, in the next one, we will have 6, 7, and 8. And then we will have 2 stories as well. So, and there's like a mini bonus side stage that we can do as well. So I may have to do that. We'll see. But yeah, again, that'll be something to check out when we get there. All right, guys, so that is it for this one. A very interesting episode with a lot of developments on all fronts. We had movement pretty much everywhere, between little movement with interactions with Swire and the government, Swire and Enos, Swire and Pelipper. We had Swire all over the place interacting with people and working out deals and various things. We had Snowsent working on the water park. We had all that stuff going on that side. Swire met with Herman, so she met with the mayor and talked about stuff. Bison was on the move with working on his project and his proposal, but had that little mix-up where the sheep messed up some of his supply and his product and stuff. So that kind of became a little bit of a problem. And of course, Eyjafjalla has been all over the place chasing the little sheep and going everywhere, trying to recover items that are missing, as well as trying to get them under control. We have Enos and his family. They know, well, not the children, but Mom knows about his infection. Now Eyjafjalla knows, everybody knows. Swire figured it out. So many different things going on there. Salon is out and about, and of course she's keeping tabs on Aya and keeping tabs on Enos as well. So there's a lot going on there. A lot of interesting stuff. And again, all the different plot branches, we're getting tidbits for everything. And everything's got that central focus, though, with the volcano. And even with Costa. And Costa and Keller seem to have had a close relationship at one point when they were younger, and now it's kind of rekindling in a way. But it's tough exactly to say. I kind of get an implied romance out of that at one point, that there was something going on between them, and obviously it didn't work out, and she left and whatnot. Now he's with this other woman that he's set to marry. But then, of course, he loses his grandfather there at the very end, which is sad. It's a shame. But their last interaction was the letter of intent, dealing with that. So it stuff like that happens. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Arknights, is the fact that it's written and done so well with stuff like that it hinges on real life implications and things that you see every day. And things like that are an absolute shame when you think about it, because now he's going to be full of regrets and thinking about that last interaction constantly. So just thoughts and things like that. But overall, this story is really heading towards a fun little climax, because again, this is not a very dark story or anything like in comparison to some of the others with Spillingstorm or Path of Life and some of the elements and things that are in the other stories that really take a dark turn. This has been very real lifey, but also very whimsical, very lighthearted, and there's some very sweet things going on. And especially at the end, there's one particular thing that makes me very, very emotional when I think about it, and I can't wait to get to that part. And it's at the very, very end of the story, and it is one of the absolute sweetest things that they've done in the series so far, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I enjoyed everything that's happened in this part as well. And I can't wait to continue on. And like I said, we will wrap this up in one more episode. We're going to have the next story comes immediately after this. Then we have 6, 7. And there's like a little side stage. I don't exactly remember anything about that. I don't even know if I beat that stage on my own, but on my other account when it first ran. But then there's the boss fight and the epilogue after. So we'll get to all that in the next one. Finish it off. Hopefully you guys enjoy. As always, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Those things help me to continue to grow and bring you more cool Arknights content and so much more. I appreciate you all so much for watching and hanging out in the channel. You guys are awesome and you're helping me in more ways than you think. And with that, that is it for this one, guys. And I will see you next time.